Hello, hello, hello. So from now on, you guys, I'm not going to tell you what I think or I'm not going to speculate, okay? I'm going to tell y'all what I find suspicious and what I know. So what I know is that a whole family of people are acting like all of a sudden now CJ ain't a PDF file. And what I know is that nobody seems to have took that little girl to go get her head looked at, even though she has a visible injury that's been on her head for days that you can clearly see. Like anytime a child gets a injury on their head and it's a knot like that and it's visible for days and it's not going down, it could be pooling going on with the injury. Like it could be a lot of internal stuff going on. So she needs to get her head, scanned to make sure it ain't more serious of an injury. That's what I know. If my child ever fell, any of my children fell and they hit their head and it was a visible injury for days and days, I would definitely not hesitate to take my child to the hospital. And what I know is that this man said he took his child to the movies instead of taking her to the hospital. He had that on his post. And what I know is that yesterday it was very suspicious that they did a death hoax on the mom, and she seems to be in good spirits and don't seem to be concerned about her own children. It's just the lack of concern with any of these people. It's just making the whole family it's just giving blood sacrifice vibes. And I don't like it. It's very much giving blood sacrifice vibes. Like nobody cares about if these children die. And maybe they want the children to die. For a payday. It's no secret that the children have life insurance policies on them. We don't really know these people. That's a fact. We don't know people's true intentions or why a mom who has no duty to send her kids to any place that there could be imminent danger at. She has the right to not send her kids by law. That's in any state. You have the duty to protect. You have the right not to send your children to places where they could get hurt or be in danger. And what I know is that she continues to send those kids. So what I do know is she's not concerned about those kids being hurt, killed, injured, or molested. Because if she was, she would not send them over there every week. And I just find it so suspicious how everybody in the whole family, in her whole side of her family, does not seem to be concerned all of a sudden about CJ and the way he conducts himself online. Or just the way he conducts himself, period. It's like they just going to ignore him and, I guess, hope for the best. And I just find that very suspicious. And, stuff is just looking a little bit orchestrated. The death hoax, him coming out with a story about his daughter's head injury. Not his youngest daughter's head injury, but his oldest daughter's head injury, supposedly when she was a little, trying to justify the way she acts now. And really, all he's trying to do is justify her inappropriate behavior, which that has nothing to do with a head injury. Anytime a child is very sexualized, that means some sexual abuse has happened. Okay, so let's be clear. If your child is being sexual with dancing or coming online since she's been a little girl with no pants on, dancing, that means a child has been abused. That's symptoms of abuse. So he's trying to downplay the way she conduct herself and say, oh, she was dropped on her head. But at the same time, trying to normalize head injuries like, oh, you guys, accidents happen. So if something happened with Cordea's head, and notice he didn't show them kids yesterday, so we don't know really what's going on with her. That's a fact. That's not speculation. She could be somewhere really messed up. Why ain't he filming the kids? He filmed them the first night he got them. And then after that, you don't see the children anymore. So I just feel like the way this whole family is acting is just very odd and suspicious. You got death hoax. You got them try to normalize serious looking head injuries. You got everybody acting like CJ ain't a problem no more. Everybody. Everybody seems to be in good spirits. Ain't nobody concerned about these kids. I just find everybody's behavior to be very, very odd. It's giving very, very much orchestrated. It's giving me like distraction vibes and blood sacrifice vibes, and I don't like it. I'm not trying to speculate. If you keep sending your kids over to a place that's unsafe, yeah, you're willing to let whatever happens, and that's a fact. That's not speculation. So if anything happens, you guys, yeah, it's there. Everybody involved in that situation is to blame, because I feel like people are trying to distract from the fact a little child has suffered a serious head injury, and people are trying to distract that children are potentially being abused by their father, and everybody wants you to look at all this other weirdness that's going on and not the children being abused. And like I said, the whole time these people be having conflict, underneath all of it was child abuse. And I just feel like people are trying to do Spengali distraction maneuvers so that you won't look at what's really happening is that children are being neglected, not protected, and abused. And I'm going to keep bringing awareness to the situation because no one seems to care about the children. Not even the twins' own mother. Not even the twins' siblings. No one. Not the grandmother. Nobody on that side is saying anything. Everybody all of a sudden is acting like nothing is happening. You have a duty to protect your children from imminent harm or people that's unsafe. He has displayed enough behavior online, facts, not speculation, that shows and proves that he's unsafe for children to be around. And yet they continue to send these kids over there every week. So that means that whole side of that family is okay if something happens. I mean, these people made me believe in blood sacrifice. I used to think that stuff sounded crazy. But yeah, I guess it's not so far-fetched. And with that being said, I'm out.